Okay, so in this video, I'm going to talk about how to utilize the existing friend network that we have on Facebook. And again, there's going to be a lot that I talk about over here, so please make sure you take notes, synthesize all that's being talked about. The first is when you're going through this list, just go to my Facebook and then go more friends. Like when you just land into the Facebook, you'll have this option of friends. So just go over here. We are only going to target basically foreigners, and then we know most of the time it's Americans or people from UK who are speakers, basically speakers, not Indian speaker, not native speakers, but speakers from abroad only. Anytime if I see someone who is abroad name, then it is a helpful possibility. Now, I'm not going to text certain people who are my clients. So Louis Krim is a client, Mike Damish is a client, so no need to touch them. Number one. Number two is if you're already having a conversation with somebody as well. For example, with Mark LeBlanc, right? There's already a conversation going. Just put a reinforcing message over there, or continue on the conversation. Like, okay, sounds good, that's great. Let me know if you need anything. Something like that. That's something we get to do for these. Then they suppose, for example, Jane Atkinson, right? Jane Atkinson. And one of the things that gets to see is if someone is a speaker, is of course the exception. Like Keka Das Gupta is an Indian name, but she's a Canadian speaker. That are exception. When you just see mutual friends from here, if it is too many foreigners, that's helpful to know as well. Jane Atkinson. Uh, Again, I just made a comment, but again, if there's anyone who looks like a lead, just go about making sure their sample is being worked on while you comment as well, right? So I've already made that comment, and no, it is supposed to be passed on. The name is supposed to be passed on for the sample sake. Now, at this point in time, we might likely have a system where you're supposed to report if there's a sample that needs to be done. For now, I'm just taking a mental note of this thing right over here, you know. So Jane Atkinson, I keep going. I'll start to slide. So let's see. She's a speaker, I can see that. And I just go to the Facebook and make a recent comment. Now, you wouldn't know in certain cases about certain people. So when you have the list, just have me tagged over there so I can approve, disapprove. For example, she's a speaker, but she's very less of a speaker. She's a service provider like us, so she's not exactly a client that could be of ours. So it's going to be like loving the lessons from series. So that helps, right? So before you go on creating a sample, just have all the lists there and then tag me so I can come in and say, hey, okay, should we do it or not, right? Again, the exceptions like Nore Norial is again speaker community, which is very rare, which is Nepal's name, which is there. Begin is already a client, so we don't comment to her. Im is already a client, so we won't write to her. Let's see. Stefan Shapiro is not a client and he's a speaker. So we'll just go about seeing his recent post and let's see what he's saying. Uh, so some interesting fun stuff post, you know. So I'll just literally take a screenshot of this, upload it to ChatGPT if I'm not getting to know what comment to make. This is not something you should do every time, but certain times if you're having a hard time, find me a good comment for this post. And whatever it suggests, I can. And in the meantime, I don't want to be waiting, right? So I can come back to my list over here, scroll through people, Marty Dickinson, and a lot of times before you proceed, and this is again important, before you proceed to make sure you're getting a sample to someone who's not a client, please go to frame.io sample section as well. And just write again, please don't search here, go to the sample section and make sure you're searching right over here of the person names. For example, I'll just write here Marty Dickinson. Cool. We already have a video of him. So we're not going to create a sample file. Just something that sparks a conversation would be decent enough because you're already right. Right. So in this case, let's see. And then I'm just going to make this comment. A lot of time it's less relevant and stuff, but you know. And that should be fine. Just go about keep doing this. And for people we don't have a sample, for example, in case, just check with the comment, you have a sample. You can possibly even make a comment and say, would like to respectfully check if this is something that you need help with. Now, I'm not writing to him right now because again, there's a lot of contextual thing that you as someone who's doing this might not know. For example, we're working on some other sample stuff for him as we talk on a separate, affiliate engagement. So David Arvin start a conversation. Julian Cooley, start a conversation like. I know something contextual because they made a message. Someone else that I was on a call with said something relevant. So it's like, uh, what's the reason? Because I know that, man, and all the rules, the stuff like that. And then I just keep going over here. For example, there is David Orwin. Let's just go into his stuff. I'll just write to him. And if I have not made a sample, I have made of him because I know in Facebook, I'll just say to him, was super fun. Thank you, that else. David, love your travel. So, and anytime you find someone to be a good lead, for example, David Aaron is good lead. However, I have a sample done for him. So I will pause, right? For example, Julaine Puli, right? When I wrote to her, we have not made a sample. So I'll just check, okay, have I made a sample for Puli? And it's not done. So go get that name and we proceed to make sample for them. This is the process we follow for the entire list of people that we have in our Facebook community because there are a lot of leads that we're literally sitting on right now. Just be careful about the comment that you make for the people. Just make sure you're not writing to our existing clients. For example, Elizabeth McCormick is an existing client. And for the other people, for example, Ava Diamond, it's a conversation that might have happened a little bit, or even if it's not, just write again something that is relevant. If there's a sample not made, okay, I know them from the National Speaker Association. We need to make a sample for her, right? But just go to frame.io, quick search, what's her name again? Her name is sorry, I forget a lot. Her name is Eva Diamond. So let's see, have we made a sample for Eva Diamond yet? Eva. No. So we go ahead, add that to the list and make sure we're getting the sample done for them as well. Please scout through all of the Facebook friends because we literally have leads that are on our Facebook that we need to go ahead and target to potentially spark business. Thank you.